Bad Bunny has more swagger than anyone on the planet. That is not an opinion anymore. At this point, it feels like evidence, because for years, the world has watched this man move through music, fashion, controversy, and culture like the rules simply do not apply to him, and maybe they do not. The strange thing is, nobody seems fully able to explain it. How does one man from Puerto Rico become so untouchable that entire stadiums shake before he even says a word? How does someone chewing gum, wearing sunglasses at night, and barely trying somehow look cooler than every artist who spends millions trying to manufacture that same energy? That is the mystery. And on Saturday night in London, that mystery got even bigger. Shh, turn the volume up, but keep it low. This is Rap Deepest Secrets, the one place the labels can't control, exposing the codes, the cover-ups, the real cost of fame. Now, back to the video. For 3 straight hours inside Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Bad Bunny did not just perform, he took over. Not politely, not carefully. He walked into the biggest Spanish-language concert in British history and moved like a man who knew the entire planet was already in his pocket. And maybe it is. 50,000 people packed into that stadium, screaming, jumping, crying, all for a man who never changed his language to make them comfortable. That part matters, because in an industry where artists are taught to adapt for success, Bad Bunny did the opposite. He made the world adapt to him. Imagine that, a Puerto Rican artist staying fully Puerto Rican and somehow forcing global audiences to catch up. Crazy concept. Authenticity. The music industry hates that word. They love control, they love formulas, they love shiny little packages they can sell. But Bad Bunny has always felt like the glitch in their system. Too wild to predict, too real to control, too big to ignore. And London proved that again. He stepped onto the stage wearing a cream suit and dark sunglasses. Simple, clean, sharp. No overthinking, no trying too hard. Because that is what swagger really is. Looking like you belong everywhere without asking permission. The opening song was La Mudanza, and right away, the energy felt different. It was not just music, it was a declaration. Family, heritage, pain, pride, and underneath it all, anger. Not loud anger, focused anger, the kind that lives deep. Bad Bunny has mastered something most artists never figure out. He knows how to make pain dance. That sounds impossible, but somehow he does it. He takes heavy truths and wraps them in rhythm so people feel them before they understand them. That is power, real power. And if that sounds dramatic, wait, because things only got stranger. As the night moved on, something became impossible to ignore. The crowd was not just reacting to him, they were syncing with him. Every move, every pause, every breath, like he was conducting more than music, like he was controlling emotion itself. That should sound ridiculous, but anyone watching could feel it. When Baile Unolvidable started, Bad Bunny leaned back so far it looked like gravity had lost its grip on him, and somehow the crowd leaned with him. That is not normal. That is influence, and influence at that level starts to look dangerous, because once millions of people trust your voice more than their own, what exactly are you? An artist, a leader, a symbol, or something else entirely? That's the part nobody talks about. Everybody talks about his streams, his records, his awards. Sure, Debí Tirar Más Fotos became a global monster. His Grammy win made history. His Super Bowl performance broke barriers. Yes, all of that matters, but numbers are easy. Numbers only tell you how many listened. They do not tell you why, and the why is where things get uncomfortable. Because Bad Bunny isn't popular because he crosses cultures. That's the lie. He's popular because he strengthens them. He reminds people who they are. That's a much bigger deal, and much scarier. Because identity is powerful. Identity makes people move. Identity makes people unite. Identity changes history. And every Bad Bunny concert feels less like entertainment and more like a gathering of people remembering themselves. That sounds beautiful. It also sounds suspicious, because when has music ever been just music? Never. Not really. Then came Nueva York, and that's when the entire stadium exploded. The beat dropped. 50,000 people screamed like their lives depended on it. The energy shifted. It became raw, messy, alive, and for a moment it felt less like London and more like every Latin neighborhood in the world merged into one place. That was the twist. This was not Bad Bunny bringing Latin culture into the mainstream. It was him proving it never needed mainstream approval in the first place. That changes everything. Think about how many artists before him had to compromise, how many softened themselves, how many translated their pain into something easier for outsiders to consume. Bad Bunny refused, and instead of losing, he won bigger. That should terrify the system, because if one man can win without changing, what excuse does everybody else have? And maybe that is why Bad Bunny feels so different. He represents something dangerous. Freedom. Real freedom. The kind where you stop performing for acceptance. The kind where you stop shrinking yourself. And once people taste that, they do not go back. If you are still watching right now, subscribe to the channel because what happened next might explain why Bad Bunny feels bigger than music itself. And trust me, this part matters because in between all the chaos, there were moments of silence, and those silences felt louder than the songs. He would stop, look into the crowd, say nothing, just stand there, watching, almost like he was measuring the weight of it all. That was unsettling, not because it was awkward, because it felt intentional, like he knew something the crowd did not. And maybe he does. Maybe Bad Bunny understands something about fame that most artists never learn, that fame is a trap. The bigger you get, the less human people let you be. They turn you into an idea, an icon, a symbol, and symbols are not allowed to break. That is a heavy thing to carry, and you could feel that weight in London, even while he danced, even while he laughed, even while the stadium shook. There was something underneath it, a tension, like someone carrying the world while pretending it weighs nothing. That is swagger too, not the flashy kind, the deeper kind, the kind built from pressure, pain, responsibility. People love to copy Bad Bunny, the clothes, the hair, the attitude, the rings, the shades, but they miss the core. Swagger is not style. Swagger is certainty. It's knowing exactly who you are when the world keeps trying to rename you. Bad Bunny knows, and that is why nobody can look away. Not because he's perfect, because he's not. He's messy, contradictory, loud, emotional, sometimes reckless, but real. And reality is rare now. That is why he wins. That is why London mattered. Not because it was big, but because it proved something. Bad Bunny is no longer just a Latin superstar. He's a global force, built without compromise. That should not be possible. Yet here he is, still chewing gum, still breaking records, still making entire countries bend toward his sound. And maybe the strangest part of all is this: he makes it look easy, like none of it surprises him, like he saw this coming long before anyone else did. That confidence is unsettling, because true confidence usually comes from knowledge. So what does Bad Bunny know? What does he see that everybody else is still trying to figure out? Maybe the answer is simple. Maybe he knows that the future of music no longer belongs to the people at the top deciding what matters. Maybe it belongs to the people, the culture, the communities, the ones screaming every lyric in a language the industry once underestimated. And if that's true, then Bad Bunny is not just ahead of the game, he's the blueprint. That makes him dangerous. That makes him unforgettable. And that makes him the artist everybody will be chasing for the next decade. But here's the real question. Can anyone match his swagger? Not copy it, not imitate it, match it. Right now? No. And after London, that answer feels even clearer. Because swagger like this cannot be bought, it cannot be taught, it cannot be faked. It's built through risk, through pain, through staying yourself when changing would be easier. That is what Bad Bunny did, and now the whole world is living in it. Subscribe if you think Bad Bunny is the most powerful artist alive right now, and share this with someone who still thinks swagger is just about style. Because after what happened in London, one thing became painfully obvious. Swagger is not what Bad Bunny wears. Swagger is what follows him. And judging by that stadium, it might just be following the whole world now.